Here's something that will blow your mind. Stone Age people worked fewer hours per week than most of us do today. While we're grinding through 40-hour work weeks, our ancestors were clocking in just 15 to 20 hours of what we'd call work time. So what were they doing with the rest of their time? Were they just sitting around picking their teeth with stone tools? The answer is going to completely change how you think about our ancient ancestors and maybe even make you a little jealous of their lifestyle. This was the daily reality for people who lived during the Stone Age, a period that lasted for over 3 million years and ended around 3300 BCE.
Contrary to popular belief, Stone Age people didn't spend all day hunting mammoths or desperately searching for berries.
Archaeological evidence from sites like Dolní Věstonice in the Czech Republic shows that these communities were incredibly efficient at gathering food. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies like the Kung people of the Kalahari Desert reveal that they typically only needed to work about 15 to 20 hours per week to meet their basic food needs. The daily food routine usually started early in the morning. Women typically gathered plant foods like nuts, berries, roots, and seeds. This wasn't random wandering through the forest. These women possessed encyclopedic knowledge about their environment. Archaeological remains from sites like Ohalo 2 in Israel, which dates back 23,000 years, show evidence of systematic plant processing, including grinding stones used to make flour from wild grains. Plant foods actually provided the majority of calories for most Stone Age communities. Studies show that gathered foods made up 60 to 80% of their diet. Women would venture out with carefully woven baskets following routes they had memorized since childhood. Men often focused on hunting, but not in the Hollywood action movie way you might think. Most hunting involves small game like rabbits, birds, and fish rather than massive woolly mammoths. Evidence from sites like Blombos Cave in South Africa shows that Stone Age people were skilled at catching fish and collecting shellfish. They used sophisticated tools like fish hooks made from bone, spears with carefully crafted points, and nets woven from plant fibers. The hunting process was incredibly strategic. Men would spend hours tracking animal movement, studying their patterns, and planning the best approach. Evidence from sites like Schöningen in Germany shows that Stone Age hunters used wooden spears that were perfectly balanced for throwing. These weren't crude sticks, they were engineered tools with specific weight distributions and carefully shaped points. Archaeological evidence from sites like Torralba in Spain shows that Stone Age people even used fire to direct large animals into hunting areas. The preparation of food was a major part of daily life. Archaeological evidence from sites across Europe and Africa shows that Stone Age people were skilled at preserving food through smoking, drying, and fermentation. Food preparation was often a communal activity that brought people together. Archaeological evidence from sites like Mezmaiskaya Cave in Russia shows that Stone Age communities had designated areas for food processing, with specific tools for different tasks. The process of butchering an animal was incredibly efficient. Nothing was wasted. Bones were cracked open for marrow, hides were processed for clothing and shelter, and even tendons were saved to use as thread for sewing.
Fire played a central role in Stone Age daily life, and maintaining it was a crucial daily task.
Evidence from sites like Quesam Cave in Israel shows that humans were controlling fire at least 400,000 years ago. Keeping a fire burning required constant attention. Someone had to gather firewood, tend the flames, and make sure the fire didn't go out overnight. Fire wasn't just for cooking. It provided warmth, light after dark, and protection from predators. Stone Age people were master craftsmen who created incredibly sophisticated tools from stone, bone, wood, and other materials. Archaeological sites like Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania contain thousands of stone tools, showing that tool production was a regular part of life. Making a single stone hand axe required deep knowledge of stone properties, careful planning, and skilled technique. These weren't crude rocks, they were precisely crafted instruments that required hours of work to create. The process of making stone tools was incredibly complex. First, toolmakers had to find the right type of stone. Evidence from sites like Grimm's Graves in England shows that Stone Age people actually mined flint from deep underground shafts. Master toolmakers could create razor-sharp edges that were actually sharper than modern steel surgical instruments. Different community members specialized in different types of toolmaking, suggesting complex social structures where people traded skills and products with each other. Social interaction was hugely important in Stone Age daily life. Archaeological evidence from sites like Pensevent in France shows that Stone Age communities gathered in specific areas for social activities. These weren't random campfires. They were organized social spaces where people shared food, told stories, and strengthened community bonds. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies show that storytelling, music, and group discussions typically filled several hours each day. These social gatherings serve practical purposes too. This was when knowledge was shared between generations. Older community members taught younger ones about food sources, tool-making techniques, weather patterns, and survival strategies. Stone Age communities developed complex rules for sharing and cooperation. Evidence shows that Stone Age people shared large game kills with the entire community, even those who didn't participate in the hunt. This sophisticated insurance system meant that no one went hungry when their own efforts failed. Art and creativity were surprisingly important parts of Stone Age daily life. The cave paintings at Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain show that Stone Age people spent considerable time creating art. Archaeological evidence also shows that Stone Age people created jewelry, decorated tools, and made musical instruments. Bone flutes dating back 40,000 years have been found in Germany, proving that music was part of daily life. Creating art and music wasn't just entertainment, it was a way to strengthen social bonds and share important cultural information. Many cave paintings seem to depict hunting scenes or important animals, suggesting they were used for teaching or ceremony. Personal care and health maintenance took up part of each day. Archaeological evidence shows that Stone Age people took care of their appearance and health. They created combs from bone, used plant-based medicines, and even performed simple surgeries. Stone Age people also spent time on what we might call home improvement. They built shelters, created storage areas, and organized their living spaces. Archaeological sites like Terra Amata in France show evidence of carefully constructed shelters with designated areas for different activities. Weather and seasons heavily influenced daily activities. During winter months, Stone Age people likely spent more time indoors working on crafts, telling stories, and maintaining equipment. Summer brought opportunities for travel, gathering certain foods, and larger community gatherings. Perhaps most surprisingly, Stone Age people appear to have had significant amounts of leisure time. Without the constant demands of modern life, they could spend hours socializing, creating art, playing games, and simply relaxing. The daily life of Stone Age people was far more complex and rich than we often imagine. These weren't desperate survivors barely clinging to existence. They were skilled, knowledgeable people who had developed sophisticated ways of living that provided not just survival, but comfort, creativity, and community. Their days were filled with meaningful work, social interaction, artistic expression, and leisure time, a balance that many of us in the modern world might actually envy. In many ways, they had figured out how to live well, with less stress and more time for the things that truly matter in life. Want to discover more about Stone Age life? From hunting techniques to ancient tools, there's so much more to explore about how our ancestors survived and thrived. Subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from the Stone Age.